the sidelines. Has a man wide open. It's tipped. It's picked off. MJ Devonshire. Got space. He's going to take it to the end zone. Pittsburgh takes the lead.
He loves those moments. It reminds me of last year in the Garden against St. John's. And guys just stepped up. Blake hits a what the hell 3. You know, we're like, what are you doing? And he's done that all year.
Klicka out to Bizzario. It's over. The Pitt Panthers have upset Wisconsin.
Anybody if he hits his field goal. Up and got it. Sauls does it again.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Semple 5 Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Kaminsky. I'm joined by my co-host, Mason Kling. How are we doing tonight?
You know, we're a few days removed from Saturday now.
Still don't feel great. Still think about it a lot.
Still sucks about the same, if not more. Alas, we pod on.
We'll continue doing this until it becomes unbearable, or one of us dies, probably. Our fight against Pitt sports will go on until we pass on from this earth.
Yeah. We're a bad basketball season away from some dark times.
Hey, we got volleyball going on. They're ranked number 8 in the nation right now. ACC play starts, I think on Friday, so it'll be the day after this drops. So you got that. I don't know. Is Carlton Carrington? Is that it?
What do you mean?
His name, the freshman guard for the basketball team. Is it Carlton Carrington? I think
it's a bit of a tongue twister. I don't want to say yes or no because I'm not 100% sure myself.
That's right. I had the first name and last name mixed up for a second before I caught my own brain. Okay. So real quick, to start this show off, we're not going to do a lot of previewing of the UNC game. We're going to probably finish it in – I'll actually time myself when we go ahead and do it. But the main thing I want everyone to take away from this show is that there's a really, really good weekend of college football on. You should probably spend it watching any other game than Pitt. And I hate to say that because I'm a Pitt fan, but you know there's no reason to watch this team unless one thing changes. And I think
we've aired our grievances around that.
Everyone knows. We all know. But
the one good thing about this weekend, and it is just a sad, sullen take, but no expectations.
Oh, baby, I'm free. I'm breaking my chains.
Quite literally zero expectations. Before the season, you weren't really penciling this weekend in for one that you could go to the pumpkin patch or, go to the corn maze or whatever. But hey, there's other good games on, so still probably not, but at least it's not Pitt that's keeping you from that.
Oh, exactly. I mean, this is definitely coping, but before the season, I was pretty confident, this is like the make or break game. This is where we're going to learn a lot about the team. Unfortunately, we learned a lot about the team prior to this game. I think we know about everything we need to know. And you're right. Now I'm free. I'm probably just going to end up watching. I think I'm just going to adopt a secondary team. Have you given any thought to this yet? Just kind of look at a fun offense to watch. 'Cause I got a couple ideas in mind.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that'll be our project as we go down the season, is kind of pivoting to championship contender level offense just to root for. I feel like picking somebody in the top 4 isn't quite fair, but somebody that's on the edge of that has a shot is since that's top tier Pitt, that's what we should root for.
My pick, honestly, if we're going would you count Washington in that top tier? Because I think that offense is so much fun. Michael Penix is a great story. The only issue with Washington is that they play on Pac-12 Network and no one gets it.
I was going to say we just have to stay up late for those games. That's the night owl slate. That's the only bad part about Washington. But I think that's probably a pretty good pick for that.
they got fun colors. I've always liked Washington State too. They're kind of been like ever since Gardner Minshew was there. I love them. I love their uniforms. Love like their fan base and everything. Also, I found out that DJ Uyungale's dad is a great follow on Twitter. His name is like Big Dave Uyungale. He posted the other day. He's like, I wonder where I was getting all these dirty looks in the Oregon State bookstore. And then I remember I was wearing my Oregon hat because DJ goes to Oregon State and his brother goes to Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah. He's wonderful, though. If you don't follow him on Twitter, it's a good time. I'm just being a Pac-12 like propaganda guy right now.
It's time for us to start rooting for general narratives. The Pac-12 being good is one of them.
I think I need Oregon State to win it to really feel good about it, but I guess I'm between Washington and Oregon State. I think that's where I'm at right now. Also, heavily considering going a very hipster play, dropping down to FCS, and just looking at like Montana State, who I enjoy good running offense, and boy, do they have a fun running offense. But that's a little bit too far for right now. I'm not that down bad.
So my 3-second preview is we suck. Their offense is really good. They're going to score more points than West Virginia did. If we put up a 6-point stinker, I'm not even going to comment what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be very unhappy.
Well, I don't really plan on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer now for my preview. I think you did a great job. I think I want to hit on one other thing. 3, 2, 1. This game is not worth watching until Phil Jurkovec is riding the bench. Drake May and Omarion Hampton on the UNC offense are going to torch us. And my preview is that just don't watch it. And time. 12 seconds. I miss it? I didn't really miss anything.
No, I love we're bullying the ACC network and ABC out of having Pitt in primetime games.
Okay, we got to talk about this. How the fuck do we keep getting primetime games? Like, even Wofford was even a 3 o'clock. Wasn't even like a noon slate you get for the FCS team. We'll now have 4 straight 7 o'clock or later time slots. Like, there's no point. This team's a miserable watch.
Yeah. I don't know if it's one of those like Aaron Rodgers situations where they're like, oh, new quarterback in New York, new quarterback in Pittsburgh. Like, we got to get this guy on prime time. And now here we are. And they're like, we fucked up.
No, because they didn't announce. Okay, so at least the UNC game they announced before the West Virginia game, but the Virginia Tech game is now a primetime game. And they announced that after the West Virginia game. And like the only thing I can think of is like, is it just a misreading of like the numbers for the ratings of the West Virginia game? Because that's just a rivalry game and a pretty bad slate, so everyone watched it. But like the product on the field sucks. I don't know what they're thinking. I just want a noon game. I kind of want to get the thing over with if we're going to suck this bad.
Yeah, something about the Tar Heel blue under the lights.
They're going to look so good, dude. Oh.
Yeah, and our uniforms will look great, but the team is just this is like an all-time uniform game that's just going to be stinky.
It's so bad. Okay.
What's the before we get into that though? UNC is only a 7.5 point favorite. Do with that information what you will. I would never tell you to bet against Pitt because I don't bet for Pitt too often because they're just my team and I can't do that. But 7.5 points after last week's showing feels like a bit of a.
It feels low. It definitely feels low. Like I think at least to talk about that line, the 7.5. I think it only opened at like 5 or something, and immediately jumped up 2 points. So a lot of people did hop on a lower line. I think a lot of it was just like people are like, okay, it's a really good defense, which we know it is a very good defense, but we've seen this a lot with Narduzzi defenses. The longer they're on the field, the less effective they are, and I have the feeling they're going to be on the field a lot.
I have a feeling this is going to if we compete in this game, it's going to be one where the defense special teams need to score points to keep us in it.
Yeah. Basically, we need like 4 pick sixes or a quarterback change. I think those are the keys to a victory, right?
There
It's
you go.
just as many defensive touchdowns as possible. And maybe just change out the quarterback because he's like statistically probably the worst in FBS. Definitely the worst in the ACC, but probably one of the worst in all of Division One. So, also, I don't know. My only other thought is that they have a great running back name room with Omarion Hampton and British Brooks. That's pretty good. I like that. I have a guy named British. Well, it's actually it's pretty un-American, but it's a good name.
British Brooks.
British Brooks. Yeah, we call that a river here.
It does say. You mean a creek? It does sound like a little bit like a Peaky Blinders character, but
it's like a James Bond spoof character.
Yeah.
British Brooks. If we were a better team, like, oh, you mean Crick, that would be a great post. But since we're bad, I have to kind of hold off on that one.
Yeah.
All right. I have nothing else on the game. We good here?
Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so I do want to talk about something that's not exactly preview related yet, but it is sort of big news I think Pitt fans should be watching out for. Today, it was officially announced that Michigan State is firing Mel Tucker for cause. If you don't know, there's a very big story out about how Mel Tucker acted inappropriately with someone he hired as a contractor for the university. If you want more details, I'm not going to have to remember them off the top of my head. You're going to have to go look them up. I apologize.
Do your own research.
Do your own research. COVID, 5G, coronavirus, get the facts. However, you might be asking, why is this a big deal? Because Pat Narduzzi was at Michigan State from 2007 to 2014. He is, besides Mark D'Antonio, he was one of the faces of those early 2010s Michigan State teams that had those amazing defenses. And it was a big part was him. And you're seeing a lot now that along with Mike Elko, possibly Lance Leipold, who don't know if they'll take the jobs, but sort of the top candidates for this job. And I would say Pat Narduzzi is probably one of the first people they call. And why I think that is they already brought back D'Antonio as sort of pretty much a shadow head coach, I would say, now that Tucker is out. And I don't think they would give a second thought to bringing in a coach who's only had like one losing season at Pitt, who is the best coach at Pitt since Dan Marino is here. I think he's a better candidate than people think for Michigan State. And I'll be honest, I don't think guys like Lance Leipold and Mike Elko are going to step into that job with no form or previous experience there. Like Narduzzi has history there. Elko and Leipold don't, and that's a huge rebuild if we're going to be honest. This team's going to crater, probably, most likely.
Yeah, if you asked me a year ago, I'd probably be a little bit more hesitant to – I guess hesitant isn't the right word, but a little less willing to let the Nard dog go. But not – I don't know. We'll see how this season finishes up before I make my final ruling here. But certainly all the stuff he's getting from the fans right now only makes that departure a little bit more enticing for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's right now just something to monitor. Like, I don't think you're going to hire him away mid-season. That happens pretty much never in college sports. Like you said, you kind of got to wait and see on how this season finishes out. But I also agree that as of right now, I'm a lot more open to the idea of him taking another job and maybe bringing in a coach with a little bit of an offensive background. But that's just me. That's where I'm at right now as of 8:21 p.m. on September 20th, 2023. So if I go back on this statement.
Timestamp.
I timestamped it. We're official. And my cats want to be a part of this broadcast. So, however, I think they're going to take a serious look at him, and I think it's something that we got to mentally prepare for, even if Narduzzi is an asshole sometimes. He is our asshole, but it's sort of at that borderline point where it's like, is he really my asshole still?
Well, it's like you can do it.
You can do it while you're winning, not while you're losing in embarrassing fashion. Oh, motherfucker. Shut up.
If you can hear that in the background, that's the Narduzzi hot seat timer.
No, no. No, I when I when I went to go stopwatch my UNC preview, I accidentally hit a 5-minute timer as well. I didn't know it was still going.
I
thought
guess that's our cue to get moving here, huh?
yeah, that's you know what, we're done. Okay, let's go to this slate because we talked about it. It is a fantastic slate this weekend. Starting off on Thursday, only Thursday game is 7 o'clock on ESPN. Georgia State goes to Coastal Carolina. Georgia State's 3-0. Coastal Carolina still has Grayson McCall. It is a good Thursday night Sun Belt game. Enjoyable. Also, teal turf. Always nice to see. I'll probably
Especially, might get a couple more eyes if the Giants are getting their teeth kicked in by the Niners on Thursday Night Football.
Ooh. See, this is what college should do because usually you don't get very good Thursday night games in the NFL. They should just put a good matchup on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because the game stinks. You can just turn it on.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you think Friday? I don't know. I'm not feeling too great about the Friday slate. I think Wisconsin-Purdue is probably your best game. NC State, I think, is sort of a not great 2-1 playing an 0-3 Virginia. Then your G5 games are Friday's not great, but you got Wisconsin-Purdue. I think that one can get weird.
Yeah. I could see Purdue winning this game, even though they are so bad. I don't know.
Because Wisconsin's liable to drop a stinker, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It would just be a lot of hype around Wisconsin.
Well, they're not top 25 anymore. I think that Washington State loss definitely took the shine off. I will say, I think the number one problem with Wisconsin right now is that they just kind of forget they have two really good running backs, and they're always trying to pass the ball. It's like, no, just hand it off to Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi.
Do the run. Do the play.
Do the run play. Do the run play. You're Wisconsin. It's in your DNA. Oh, okay. Let's move on to, nothing else really on Friday. If Virginia wins, that would be kind of funny, but whatever. Not really my concern. 12 o'clock, ABC. Don't know why this isn't in the night slate on the ACC network, but alas. Number 4, Florida State, jeez. Florida State goes to Clemson, who's currently unranked. What are you feeling here?
I know it's in Death Valley. I think Florida State's going to blow the doors off of them.
Dude, I'm feeling that too. Clemson
has shown me nothing in the fact that they're able to compete with this team. The home field, that's probably one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. Probably top 5, top 10.
But I would say at least top 5, yeah.
It's not enough for this game, in my opinion.
I just think that, how much do you buy into, I think BC was just a game they came out flat, but they still won. That happens every year to a lot of teams, that there's one game where they have a really big scare. They were obviously looking ahead, and they still won. They still are unbeaten. I agree with you. I think they just blow the doors off. I think their offense, when that Florida State offense clicks, it looks almost unstoppable.
The only thing I can think of for this line is that game you mentioned against Boston College and them kind of having a stinker there. But I agree with you. That's they got it out of the way, kind of.
Yep.
They survived it. But I know that Jordan Travis had a little bit of injury in that game. I believe he came back in. But I'm wondering if that's contributing to the line at all.
So it looks like his non-throwing arm or shoulder was hurt. So maybe, but let's see. 2 days ago, what did Norvell say? This Fan Nation site is not very good. He avoided a serious injury, and his availability won't be a question moving forward. So I think it's really just a legacy line for Clemson. It's they still have all those 4 stars and 5 stars. If the Clemson offense looked as disjointed as it did against Duke, I don't know how good it's going to look against Florida State. And like Duke didn't have their best offensive game and still put up 28. If Florida State's clicking, they might. I think they're going to blow the doors off. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're all in agreement here. Does this change your ACC title pick? You're riding with the Noles, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemson can also still probably run the rest of their schedule, but
I mean, I pretty much switched my pick after that LSU game. It was somehow hinging on on that game, and as soon as that got out of hand, it's been Knowles the whole way through.
always with the Noles, baby.
That would be great for my ego if Clemson did somehow win this game. Maybe I'm just emotionally hedging right now against my conference preview picks, and either way, I'm right.
Says Noles, heart says Tigers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Other games in this noon slate. Rutgers goes to Michigan. That's going to be funny. Rutgers still can't throw the ball after 4 years of Schiano. Just kind of want to talk about that. Okay, this is one that kind of caught my eye for a very weird reason. 2-1 Army is going to Syracuse, noon, ACC Network. Army has all three leading passer, rusher, and receiver between these two teams. The quarterback for Army, 1B Daly, has thrown for more yards and ran for more yards than any player on the Syracuse team. And I believe Syracuse has played FCS competition, and I think they played Purdue, I want to say.
Yeah, I think they did play Purdue last week because I saw a clip of a very cool, actually, trick play at the end of the game where it was just like a play action, like to naked boot thing. And I don't know. I'll have to send you the clip, but Garrett Schrader could have probably scored a touchdown, but slid.
So here's the thing. That's just – maybe he's thrown more touchdowns? No, that's just wrong. The quarterback for Army has thrown – okay, so ESPN was lying to me. Garrett Schrader has thrown for more than 400 yards. But, yeah, okay. All right. That's on me. I'll take that one. I got lied to. Either way.
We never claimed to be good at the numbers.
No, never did. Although Army definitely kind of looks a little bit fun this year. I think I made that one close. That's all I'm going to say. All right, you got anything else in this noon slate that sort of pops out at you? We're going to move on to the 3:30s here.
Cincy, Oklahoma. Keep an eye on it. I don't know.
I think Oklahoma probably rolls, especially with Cincinnati losing last weekend. But weird things can happen, I think. All right, 3:30, big one, ABC. Colorado goes to Oregon. Line is Oregon minus 21. What do you feel about that? Because I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah. What I would have been more interested to see was the line with Travis Hunter.
I don't think it changes that much because I don't think that the line is really factored. Like, Travis Hunter, obviously great player, but I think what we've learned about Colorado so far this season is that their skill talent, being the wide receivers, running backs, and cornerbacks, have been pretty good. More so on the offensive side. Shadur Sanders can play, but we know even from them playing lesser teams, like not top 10 teams, their line play on both sides of the ball is terrible. And I think the line play is playing much more into that line and into the spread than an injury to Travis Hunter. Even though he's a very important player, I think that they're going to be able to get after Shadur, stop their running game in the tracks, and just run over them.
Yeah, 21 is a lot, but I mean, they are better in probably every facet of the game. You could maybe make an argument for quarterback. They're better at Colorado being better, but Bo Nix, we know what Bo Nix is, and he's serviceable too. So, yeah I don't know. 21 is a lot. probably one of the bigger spreads you're going to see for a 10-19 game. But
yeah.
dude, if I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole, honestly.
No.
Take the over. I don't know.
Over 70.5.
Yeah. But it could be one of those games that gets so wacky that you check the live line in the second quarter and it's up at 80. I don't know.
Yeah, so like I think there's like obviously there's a small chance it's a good game and like it's like back and forth. I think the two routes it goes are Colorado gets completely shut down or it gets really weird really fast. Or maybe it gets weird late, but I think either it's shut down or this gets strange immediately.
Yeah.
Let's stay in the Pac-12. So you said 21 points was a big for a 10-19. We got number 11 Utah versus number 22 UCLA. That spread's only 4.5 points.
Yeah, that's like what that feels like. That's what a Colorado and Oregon should be.
But it's not. The big question here is Cam Rising. Cam Rising is still day to day for this game. So if he's out, I think that, I kind of want to tune into this game because Dante Moore, the UCLA freshman quarterback, has looked pretty good these first couple weeks. And, he's going to look good regardless. I think UCLA might pretty much take over this game if Cam Rising's out. If he's in, this will be a pretty good game. Utah at home. The sun will be setting right as the game is ending. So if it needs to get weird, it's going to. But I don't know.
Honestly, might be worth sprinkling some now before we're really sure about what. Because talking about players moving lines, I think if Cam Rising plays, it's not you probably get a touchdown here, if not a bit more. If Cam Rising's a go, so don't hate taking that now, just in case of that, because I think they could still without him win outright.
But that line would be probably close to a pick 'em at that point. I think moves to what, like 1.5 if Cam Rising is out. Even it might even flip to UCLA being a road favorite.
I have it at 4.5.
Yeah, that's what I've got too.
I think if Cam Rising's playing, it moves to closer to 7 or 8.
Yeah, but right now he's day to day. If he's not playing, where do you think it moves to?
Oh, I see. You're saying the opposite direction. The opposite direction. I don't know. Not as much. I think maybe a point or two to get to like a field goal.
Okay.
I think where it's at is pretty fair.
No, for sure. I think if you're gonna bet on Cam Rising being good to go, now is the time to get it in, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and maybe this is just the fact that Utah beat Florida without Cam Rising. Florida last week just beat Tennessee.
Yep.
Like that, the transverse property in my head might just be making me think that.
Transitive.
Yes. Like I said, never claim to be numbers or math guys here.
Don't think that's numbers or math. I think that's just English. We also never claimed that, to be fair. Never.
So
ever.
The transitive property is math for sure.
Yeah, it's just okay. We'll get into that off air. It is though. You're right. Okay. Other 3:30. This is a loaded 3:30 slate. Number 15 Ole Miss at number 13 Alabama. Alabama outside the top 10 for good reason. Their quarterbacks all suck. I think that Jalen Milroe sucks the least because at least he can run. He can't pass. The other guys just can't run or can't pass. You think Ole Miss can do it?
I like Ole Miss outright, baby. I like Ole Miss outright.
Oh man,
I am out on the Crimson Tide, man.
So Nick Saban's about to lose two straight games at home after not losing a home game for what, 14 years?
Yeah,
you're calling it? Oh, dude, let's go. I would love to see that.
Nobody, look, that hasn't happened for so long, but this Alabama team is different.
They are so bad. They are so bad. Did you see the video of the 5'9" USF running back just running over an Alabama safety?
Yeah, that game was weird with all the delay stuff.
but also like that was a 2005 like AFC North level hit. That is always going to be delivered by the Alabama player, never by the USF player. So I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I'm riding with you. I think Ole Miss does win this game outright.
You heard it here.
Yeah,
Calling our shot.
calling our shot. Okay. Let's see. Miami Temple. That's the Manny Diaz Bowl. Manny Diaz did coach for a day at Temple before going to Miami. He's now.
This
at
is
Penn
also
State.
the game where, regardless of where you play it, every year it's going to be in an NFL stadium where there is 0 fans. We play in an NFL stadium. We at least get some people there. These teams, it's tough to see.
People like to make fun of us. I think our baseline's about 50%. Miami doesn't get enough shit, and Temple's kind of saved by being a G5 program. We kind of give them a pass.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, there's probably going to be a lot more Miami fans at this game than like most other Miami home games because a lot of Miami fans are kind of just online, just kind of grew up rooting for the Canes. So I don't know. That might be me being a huge hater. Other things to watch: Michigan State's going to eat shit against Maryland. That's just my call. 7.5 is not enough of a line for this. Talia is probably going to pass for a gazillion yards because I don't know if we talked about this, but Washington put up 700 yards of offense on Michigan State last week. So
700 burger. 700 burger.
Yep. Also sort of a low-key game, ESPN on 3:30. Undefeated BYU versus undefeated Kansas. BYU won in like the late slate last week. Keaton Slovis has not looked horrible. I think we got to apologize to him.
However, I don't know. We haven't seen primetime Keaton Slovis yet. We'll get our might get our. I guess this isn't technically primetime, but
I think last week's game was primetime.
Was it?
It was Arkansas. I think it was I believe it was a 7:00 game.
Oh, that explains why I didn't have eyes on it then.
Yep, we were at the game. Okay. Do you have anything that we missed in the afternoon slate?
No.
Okay, I will say the Oklahoma State-Iowa State game. Whoever loses this game is not winning another Big 12 game the rest of the year. Iowa State lost last week to Ohio University in Athens, and Oklahoma State got pasted by South Alabama, like 38-7. So this is the Big 12 toilet bowl early in the year.
Crazy that Oklahoma State just a few short years ago was a borderline playoff team.
They were 6 inches from the playoff.
Yeah. Yeah. That is tough.
Oh shit! I didn't realize this. This is just something I want to shout out. Miami, Ohio is playing Delaware State. Delaware State has a sick football uniform. I don't know, here. Let me send you over this. It's kind of high school, but I have a soft spot for uniforms that look like this. A lot of red, a lot of blue. They have a very 90s style mascot.
Houston Oiler kind of colorway.
Yep. I think it's just that specific red and blue, like always, just gonna look really good.
Those are nice.
Okay, that's enough about uniforms. Night slate. 7:00. We have Arkansas going to LSU. I think LSU takes care of business here. Arkansas pretty much fell off after losing a BYU team I wasn't very high on. 7:00 on Fox. Oregon State versus Washington State. Whoever wins this game is the true Pac-12 champion, because they're the only teams left in the Pac-12. But this one's going to be fun, I think. I like Oregon State on the road here. I think DJ is just going to be a big old battering ram. But hey, it's not often you get to see undefeated Oregon State and Washington State play each other. So that's a fun one.
Yeah, I almost wish this game was being played at like 10:00.
Yeah.
To make for some real shenanigans, because it feels like one of those games that you've been watching all day, you're delirious, and Oregon and Washington State are playing, and things just get crazy.
We'll get to them, but I think that the 10 o'clock Pac-12 games have really big chances to get weird.
All right.
We'll get to them. We get to them though. I like Appalachian State, Wyoming. I think it's a cool color matchup. 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Okay. 7:30 slate. The big three games. ABC is Texas goes to Baylor. I don't think Texas is going to really be in any trouble there. But ABC, Ohio State at Notre Dame. CBS, Iowa at Penn State. You should be watching these games instead of Pitt. I'll just be honest. I'm going to give my upset alert pick of the week.
Don't tell me it's the Iowa Hawkeyes in Happy Valley.
I think it's the Iowa Hawkeyes in Happy Valley in the whiteout. That's the pick. I think that Penn State looked really bad last week against an Illinois defense that's nowhere near as good as this Iowa defense. And listen, all Iowa needs is a pick six, and they're liable to get a couple of those. I think this one's going to get weird. I think Iowa wins as a 15-point dog in Happy Valley.
I'd love it. People haven't been higher on Penn State.
Since what? Right after Saquon was?
Yeah. Which feels like a broken record here, but I mean, if of all teams it's Iowa to do it to them
in the whiteout, dude.
In the whiteout game, I mean, honorary. Wouldn't it be funny too? Honestly.
Oh, that's not the. Wouldn't it be funny?
No. I got a little surprise. Wouldn't it be funny for you at the end?
Okay. All right. Cool. What's your take on Ohio State and Notre Dame? This line's only 3 points. Ohio State's 3-point road favorite.
I picked Ohio State to win the Big Ten. I think they still will. Give me the Irish.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
South Bend.
Okay.
This feels like a game. I don't know. This feels like a game that normally poor quarterback play would probably cost Notre Dame. They have Sam Hartman now.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. My thought's the exact opposite. I'm taking Ohio State because, okay, if they had looked bad again last week, like they put up 63 points last week. They finally had an offense that looked like an offense. I'm not high on Sam Hartman. I think he's pretty bad. And I think that the Ohio State defense, funny as this may sound, is the strength of this team this year. I mean, they basically held Indiana like 40 yards, and they've been squashing all the competition they play. I think that Sam Hartman sort of has his return to earth game because, let's be fair, Notre Dame has not played much of anything in terms of competition this entire year. I think Ohio State kind of rubs their face in the dirt a little bit here.
All right. Counterpoint to your counterpoint. Didn't Ryan Day just get extended?
Did he?
I thought I saw a little tidbit of that in the news, or maybe there were some rumors.
Ryan Day extension. This is
all I'm saying is
first time. Never heard about this before.
I don't know. You get a little fat and happy after you sign that contract.
Let's see, I'm seeing a article from today about
possible extension, maybe.
He's eligible for a slight raise and a retention bonus that would put his salary above $10 million. Jesus Christ. No, he got an extension in 2022. I don't think he got another one.
Okay. Not sure where I saw that. But my point, my take on Notre Dame still stands.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to look into this, but Memphis and Missouri I think is cool because it's two Tiger teams. I think Missouri could definitely lose this one. Coming off a big emotional win against Kansas State at home.
They got a couple. I think if they win this game,
Missouri, that is.
Yeah. Sorry, if Missouri wins this game, a couple things shake out. I think they received a couple votes from the AP crew.
I believe.
So, I don't know when the last time Missouri has been ranked. For a while, they've been bottom of the barrel of the SEC. So
Probably the years they won the East for that weird reason, and they got
Yeah.
slaughtered in the title when they first moved into the SEC. It was probably the last time they were consistently receiving votes in the AP poll.
So that would be kind of neat, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if we're on schedule watch, right? Missouri, if they take care of business against Memphis, they probably beat Vanderbilt, and then they get they have a tough 4 or 5 after that. So they'd probably be 5-0. I would assume a ranked 5-0 team or a 5-0 team in the SEC will be ranked. They'll play LSU at home. And they get Kentucky on the road, South Carolina at home. Then they go at Georgia, Tennessee at home. Florida, I think, is sort of fake top 25, but
that's SEC right there, baby.
LSU, Kentucky, Georgia, I think is harder than Tennessee, Florida on the back end, but I could see ranked Missouri. Ryan Day didn't get an extension. It was a pay increase written into the extension he got in 2022. Got it. Okay, that's
sounds fat and happy to me.
Yeah, he's making that money. He's getting that money on. Next game. I am on FCS. I'm not seeing. I guess UCF Kansas State has a lot of luster off of it now that Kansas State lost. They actually got dropped from the rankings, which is kind of insane. But this could be good. It's sort of old school Big 12 versus what I think is going to be one of the better Big 12 teams moving forward. Now that Texas and Oklahoma are leaving against one of the new Big 12 teams, so I have my eye on that one. Anything in the evening slate that I missed? Okay, wouldn't it be funny? In the night slate,
we might have already talked about the wouldn't it be funny. It's going to be a closeout of the slates.
Let's hear it.
Go through the night slate first. I'm kind of going to want to end I'm going to end the show with it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the obviously you've got your midnight game. New Mexico State goes to Hawaii as your real nightcap, but the two main attractions here are both on 10:30. On Fox and ESPN, respectively. You have number 5 USC going to Arizona State and unranked Cal going to number 8 Washington. So, once again, USC is on Fox, Washington is on ESPN. I've got to assume it's one of these games.
Okay. I don't hate that. Another fun play here could be just parlaying the overs in these games and just kind of letting them go. Yeah. Letting them ride.
I think that Arizona State's bad. Unfortunately, that might be a sort of low resistance game for USC. Cal, I could see them making it weird up in Seattle, but at the same time, I think that Washington is a little bit too good for Cal to slow them down.
I think so too. I'd love for it to get weird though.
Would love for it. Well, I guess not for my newfound Washington fandom, but
Husky stands over here.
Yeah, we're combination Husky Beaver stands. Husky Beaver, that is a porn star name. Okay, all right. Before I go farther down that road, take us out with the Wouldn't It Be Funny game of the week.
The Wouldn't It Be Funny game. We may never ever get one again. But Pitt is actually going to be the Wouldn't It Be Funny game this week.
Oh, no.
Nothing points to us being able to win this game.
Nothing points to us being able to score, so I have to kind of agree with you here.
It would be one of those things where it would be funny for a lot of other people because it would cause us a lot more pain down the road, I think, because it would only extend the time that we're going to get Phil. It would only buy more time for Narduzzi to keep him in and keep Signetti and all this stuff. And it's one of those things where it's laugh at my pain, but it would be inherently very, very funny.
It's funny. It's funny on a lot of levels. Like you're right. Okay, if Phil wins the game, it's funny in the fact that we never thought we'd win, and then we're also having to deal with the fact that Phil won a game, which I don't think any of us would ever expect to happen. It's funny because everyone else laughed at UNC for losing to fucking us.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
it's a double-edged sword.
Is this game still as funny if Phil does not complete the game. If it's Christian or Nate.
No, that's actually a great point. It's one of those like when you place a bet and it's like player must have at least one plate appearance. Yeah. Phil must finish the game for this. Wouldn't it be funny to not be voided?
I don't know, backup quarterback. I think maybe people outside, like sort of the Pittsburgh ecosystem and our biggest rivals know about like us just clamoring for the backup. So I think it might still be funny on a national level, but I think it loses some shine on our level if Phil doesn't finish the game. If Phil wins this game, yeah, that's fucking hilarious. It hurts.
Well, yeah, exactly. And just the fact that just one more layer to this is if he wins this game, the memes that would come from it, because he has got some shit on social media the past week, which is very funny. So if that quarterback went, and you got to think UNC is going to take some shots at him this week. If he goes and beats the, like Heisman contending Drake May, like Narduzzi said, maybe the second pick in the draft here, would just be, I don't know. You couldn't write it.
Phil Jurkovec, who I'll be honest, is going to be lucky to make an NFL training camp invite, outduels the number one if it's the right team pick in the draft, and he's probably top 5 Heisman odds. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like Phil's going to be at like some shitty Pittsburgh bar like 10 years from now. Drake May is going to be in the NFL, and he's going to be like, I beat that guy back in my college days.
Hold on. Wait. I wonder if he ever beat UNC at Boston College.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm going to look this up because this could be funny. I'm really filling airtime with me slamming my keyboard, but that's it is what it is. Game logs 22. Let's see. He beat. No, wouldn't have been 22. He only won 2 games that year. Nothing funny the year prior. This would have been before Drake May then. Let's see. He did beat us. He's a saboteur. He beat us at home and then just decided to sort of do the same thing. I guess the funniest quarterback he's beaten is Malik Cunningham so far. I think.
Which is funny, but that's not Drake May funny.
Not Drake May funny. Okay. Well, hopefully we can get off the wouldn't it be funny radar, because I get the feeling that if changes are not made, we're still going to be funny for a very long time.
Yep.
And that'll do it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, hell, like I said, we just spent an hour talking about this weekend. We spent maybe 30 seconds on the actual Pitt game. So get out of your comfort zone, watch a team you don't usually watch, and have some fun this weekend, and just don't care about the game unless someone texts you that CV is in. So this has been Simplified Podcast. I've been your host, Zach Kaminsky. I was joined by my co-host, Mason Kling. Follow the podcast on Twitter at SimplifiedPod for updates, memes, all that good shit. And we'll see you next time.
Hail to Pitt.